All right, Mr. Cox, how you doing today, brother?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Welcome
Good,
back.
man. Man,
Welcome
episode
back. Let's
episode
get
episode 30, man, season 2, man. We are rolling, man.
yeah, we are
And let me give a
rolling.
shout out, man, to all the people that subscribe and people that listen to our podcast, man. We really, really appreciate it. We're starting to get a little bit more comments than we've gotten before. We're gonna try to engage with you guys, man, and respond, but give us a little bit of time. But you can find our content on YouTube. It's usually up there, a day or two after we do our weekly podcast, and give us a shout out with subscribe. And you'll get all of our content, and we're looking forward to talking to you guys. We got a good show today, man. Talking about the government shutdown. We're gonna hit a few points and give our opinions on what this is doing for the country and who it's affecting. But really quick, the government shutdown carries serious implications for Americans broadly across the country. But for Black Americans, the stakes are especially high due to systematic vulnerabilities and historical inequities. Here's a breakdown of some of those key impacts. So, economic disruption, federal workers, contractors, Black owned businesses, health equity risks, Medicaid, ACA, education and childcare, civil rights and oversight. We're going to hit all those, but we just wanted to let you guys know what we're going to talk about. Tony?
Yep, good, good. That's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on this today, but we want to try to bring current content to y'all and try to look at it from the Black point of view, African American, whatever you want to call it, minority, the disenfranchised. We're gonna look at it from that point of view and try to give you our our opinion about what's going on and how it's going to affect our community. We know it's going to affect other Americans, but our main concern is our community. Like you said, the government has shut down again. Donald Trump is about to break a record for the most shutdowns. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ronald Reagan, I think he had 7 shutdowns, 7 or 8. Donald Trump is we're gonna see. And I got a feeling personally that this one might last a little bit longer because we're even more divided because Donald Trump has crafted it that way. And I just don't think, I just can't see where these guys are trying to talk. We always used to have some centralist conservative and some centralist Democrats that could come together. And I'm not talking about 2 or 3 because we do have 2 or 3 of each right now that talk, but 2 or 3, you need we used to have about 20 of them. I think they used to call them the blue dogs, from the
Okay, Blue
Democrats and
Law.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you used to have these people that could get together and start talking and get out in front of the TV and stop trying to raise money for their campaign and stuff. When people stop giving money to the campaigns, they'll stop acting a fool. But they see that the more you act a fool, the more money they get and everything. Now, surprisingly, before we really get started, I don't want to forget this. Surprisingly, Democrats have um, ally in Margaret Taylor Greene. She is all in with this insurance thing. Now, Margaret Taylor Greene has been a little more centrist here lately because she's in a fight back home for her seat. The guy that's running against her is a retired military guy, and he's African American, and I think he's putting some heat on her, and I think she knows she's gonna have to tone down some more, a little bit more. But I'm kind of glad. Well, I am glad, not kind of glad. I'm glad that she's on board with trying to save people money with the Affordable Care Act and other insurance and everything. Uh, I'm just gonna piggyback with some of the stuff that you talked about, closed office, delayed paychecks. Now Donald Trump is trying to divide us even more by picking and choose who will get payback and who won't get paid back when the closure is over. I don't think he can control any of that. He'll get sued to no end, and everybody will wind up getting their money. I doubt very seriously you're gonna keep people from getting their money. Now he's saying some of the people saying, well, he ain't talking about people that's coming to work, people that are furloughed, coming to work, not getting paid. He talking about the people that are not coming to work. Well, you can't come to work if you shut down the government. They didn't shut down the government. They ready to go to work. You shut down the government. And it's just like everything in law, but for closing down the government, I would have my ass at work today. So how
Yep.
you gonna punish me?
Yep.
So that's what it's gonna come down to, and black people in particular. You got all these people that work in DC. In DC, working for the federal government it was almost a rite of passage for young African Americans to get their foot into the federal government and then grow their wealth and become a part of the middle class by working through the federal government. Now they keep saying they want to cut the fraud, waste, and abuse and everything, but didn't they have this thing called Doge that spent the better part of 4 months doing that and saying that he did an excellent job? So I'm trying to figure out what else can you cut if Doge did such an excellent job, So go ahead.
There's nothing to cut. I mean, I've been working with government my entire life, military, into State Department, and working local government now. There's nothing to cut. The most fraud and waste in the government comes from politicians. All those politicians from the Midwestern states who, put these poison pills into bills to give these farmers, and I'll call them what they are, lazy farmers, money, subsidies, welfare, all the time. All these congressmen have these postal offices built in communities that have 300 people, and you're building a multi-million-dollar postal thing in their districts so they can go back and say they brought jobs. My point is, if farming is so necessary for the United States, then why isn't it profitable without the government subsidizing? If we
Exactly.
got all of our food from the so-called hard-working farmers of the United States, then why do we have to continually bail them out? I mean, you're talking to somebody who used to work for the federal government, USAID. I know that U.S. farmers get subsidized to provide food to the World Food Program out of United Nations. Majority of farmers in the United States do not feed Americans. Their food does not go to American tables. So this BS about farmers feeding America and that we should support them is ridiculous. It makes no sense. We
Yeah,
haven't been
yeah.
an agricultural country in 100 years.
You're
We get the
exactly right.
majority of our food from overseas, from South America and places like that. We don't get our food from here in the United States. We get it imported into us. So no shade to our farmers. That's the job that they chose. But don't come to me and talk about you work harder than me, that you deserve to be bailed out when there are people all over this country that need money. I mean, need financial.
Yeah. It's talking points. They always have talking points because when farmers say they're on hard times and they need money, we give them millions, sometimes billions of dollars, which is penny on the dollar from giving people subsidies like for a SNAP program or having Head Start for communities of colors and stuff. Head Start for everybody. If education is the key to being successful in America, why are they trying to cut it so much? You got to think about that because I think we are doing such a good job, minorities, African Americans in particular, we're doing such a good job these days with our education and it's bringing us up. They want to cut us back down. The best way to keep somebody down is keep them uneducated. And I think that's
But that's been the plan since day one.
forever.
I mean, and that's what and that's why every time I come on here, I say that we need to be looking at what you spend your money on. None of these companies, Amazon, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, none of these companies survive if you don't patronize their organization.
Hmm.
None of them do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
None of those companies survive if we don't patronize. So you should look and understand what they do when we have new presidents and who they stand behind. Facebook, the Zuckerberg guy, his social media platforms don't survive if you don't go onto them and patronize them and use them. So He can go and talk to President Trump and support a guy who calls your customers dumb, or a vice president that goes and does a podcast for a known racist, Charlie Kirk, in the United States. But look at the people who are standing behind JD Vance and Donald Trump. Look at the companies. And if you don't spend your money there, they don't survive. They go out of business. And we as Americans need to recognize that. No, I don't care about marching in the street. What I care about is your money. Where are you putting your money?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Now, and it's always funny how they can go on these podcasts with these radical people and there's no blowback. But if any of our leaders do as much as recognize that the Nation of Islam is a organization that that uplifts the Black community for the most part, if you even think about talking to the leadership, Minister Farrakhan, you already then got thrown out to the wolves. You lose everything you got because you've been associated with him. So I just don't know why we always have to be the better person in everything. I think we need to start fighting back. We need to really start
Well,
fighting back hard, and we need to say what's on our mind and stop messing around.
I mean, my point with that is, I mean, I'm a supporter of the Nation of Islam. I have no problem at all with saying I am
Yeah,
a
for
big
sure.
supporter of the Nation of Islam. I've always said the Nation of Islam hasn't killed anybody. Nation of Islam hasn't assassinated anybody. Nation of Islam hasn't killed anybody. Nation of Islam doesn't do anything to anybody that doesn't do something to them. All the other organizations around the world say that. Can the Anti-Defamation League say that? Can groups in the United States say that? Can these conservative groups say that they've never done anything to anybody? No, they can't. So you're not going to shame me from not wanting to be involved with an organization that I think do good things. I'm a
But
Muslim,
too
and the
many
Nation
of
of Islam
our
a Muslim,
too
huh?
many of our leaders, though, you can shame them into
Yeah, but
doing it.
that's because they're bought and sold, man. They don't go to the table, man, with their back straight and their feet on the ground. I'm not kissing anybody's butt. You want to negotiate with me? You want to talk? Let's talk about what's best for the entire community. Let's do it. But I'm not
Uh-huh.
going to be dependent on your money.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, and that's an important subject because it really means something. We really have to fight back. We gotta stop standing still with our eyes wide open saying, I can't believe they did that. This is unprecedented. You can't say unprecedented 1,000 times and don't do nothing about it. That's all I hear. This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented. You got somebody that's not presidential, so it's gonna be unprecedented. So you got to start fighting back a different way. When you on a basketball team, a football team, what you do? Halftime, you go in and you take a look at what happened in the first half and you make adjustments. It's time for us to make adjustments. That's what it's time for. Now, I think former Vice President Harris, gonna catch a little flack from what she said on a podcast here this weekend. But I think it's healthy, and I think she said what was on her mind, and that's what people were saying a lot, saying she just seemed like she was scripted and wasn't saying what was on her mind. When she was talking and she was telling people in the audience about what was going on, and she was saying the same thing that she said during her campaign that everybody saying nobody told, but she plain as day told you what was gonna happen. Almost every time she went out, she told you what's gonna happen. And then she said, you gotta start fighting back, like she said. And she said, because these motherfuckers are crazy. Just like that. She didn't stutter. She didn't skip nothing. She didn't say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. She said, these motherfuckers are crazy. Just like that. And I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for unapologetic leaders that's gonna fight fire with fire and meet them where they are. If you've heard, meet them where they are. If they playing stupid, let's play stupid along with them. Anyway, we can get down in that all day. Go ahead. What you gonna say though?
No, I was just gonna say, man. I mean, I always come at it from a black standpoint. What I've said for a very long time, man, is that black people in the United States need to stop being crash dummies for everybody. We always take up everybody's mantle, everybody's issue, and black folks are the ones who are out in the street, and protesting and being crash dummies for everybody else. We need to stop that. Look, you want to be a crash dummy? Go be a crash dummy for yourself. The Hispanic community. Stop. I'm not a crash dummy for the Hispanic community. I'm not a crash dummy for the Asian community. I'm not a crash dummy for the Arab community. Go fight your own fights. We got our own problems in our neighborhoods. We got our own problems in our community. We need to address our issues. When we go to the table, we need to go to the table with our issues. Everybody else does that. Everybody else goes to the table with their own issues. We are the only ones who are crash dummies for everybody. We need to stop doing that. Focus on
Gotcha.
issues that we want to get taken care of. I don't want to hear that garbage about, oh, black people killing black people. That's bullshit. Okay. The reality is that most black people live around other black people. So it makes sense that people, when someone commits a crime, is going to be committing a crime against somebody that looks like you. White people typically live around white people. Most of the crime that happens to white people are committed by white people. Same thing with Arab people and Asian people and Spanish people. Stop with this ridiculous notion that black people kill more black people than anybody else. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, we live next to each other. So the bad people in our community, when they commit crimes, they're going to commit crimes against people that look like them because you live next door to them. It's no different. You telling me that nobody dies in Wyoming, that nobody dies in Montana, that nobody dies in Vermont? Ain't no black people coming up to Vermont and killing people in Vermont. Those are white folks that are doing that. We're not going to Wyoming. People being killed in Wyoming being killed by white folks. People look just like them because they live next to them.
Okay. So we're gonna these are all good points. We want to not leave this out, but we do want to give out some facts about what's going on so you can understand the shutdown a little better. You and I and all our friends in our friend zone, we've been in DC for a long time. I'm out of DC now, but I worked there for a long time at the highest levels, and we understand what a shutdown looked like. A lot of people in this city that I'm in right now, they was like, this shutdown, this shut. They wondering what is happening with the shutdown. So I'm just telling you some of the things that's happening during the shutdown and how it affect us as Black people. Federal workers and contractors, like we talked about, a lot of them are Black. They're furloughed and they're out of work. Contractors at these federal buildings, there's a bunch of federal buildings in the DMV in that area. And some of these are small Black businesses that got janitorial contracts, cleaning contracts, cafeteria contract. All that goes away. And these are small businesses that can't last 2, 3, 4 months without being paid and everything. It's hard to recoup that money once you lost it. Health equities. We already have problem with health equities. And the Democrats, y'all, and let me say this very clear. The Democrats are doing something they should have did back in March. They are right. Republicans are absolutely right. The Democrats, the Senate, Chuck Schumer and them voted for this clean resolution back in March when they know they shouldn't. Chuck Schumer cut a lot of flack for signing for it because in it, he knew that this healthcare stuff was coming on. The subsidies, the same thing that these farmers are asking for, the same thing that these businesses ask for when their businesses are not going well, they ask for subsidies. So the American people who pay tax dollars every day, just like these businesses and everybody else that asks for subsidies, are asking to continue these subsidies so that they can get on their feet. Because I'm going to give you an example. If the subsidy goes away for somebody, a family of two that's making $85,000 a year, right now with the subsidies, they're paying about $1,400 a month. I mean, $1,400 a year for their ACA, for their health care. Once the healthcare subsidies go away, and let's make this make sense too. The Republicans say, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's not going away until January. You got to sign up for your healthcare now." So it's stupid. They will no longer be paying $1,400 in January. They'll be paying somewhere south north of $7,000, $8,000. If you can do the math, that's about an 800% or whatever increase on their healthcare alone, and it gets uglier as it goes. Now, the setback and why the Republicans say they don't want to talk about it, It's because they said illegal aliens and undocumented people are going to get health care, which is a lie also. Well, it's not a lie. It's just what I call a Superman lie, because only legal documented foreigners get health care here. If you got a green card, you got a work permit, you got something like that, you are eligible to get into the ACA because you're here legally. Anybody that's not here legally cannot get health care. But guess where they go? The emergency room. And guess which one costs the most? The emergency room. Uh, so they're gonna get health care one way or the I think all of us agree. I think all of us Americans agree. If you're here illegally and you're breaking all kind of laws, and you are a murderer or you are a thief or you all this, you need to get up out of here. We need to get you up out of here. But if you're here working on farms, doing jobs that other people don't want to do, or doing jobs that other people can't do, America should welcome you here. I think we've gotten away from the Statue of Liberty, where give us your tired, give us your poor, give us your needy. We should get away from that. Just go ahead and say what it is. Give us your white people. We don't want no more dark skinned people here. No more. We don't want no more. That's basically what they need to say. Okay, the next one, education and child care. We talked about that Head Start program. Pell Grant's gonna go away. School lunch subsidies are gonna go away. All these things gonna go away with the shutdown. And you'll start feeling it. Right now, people are still fat, dumb, and happy doing their TikTok dances. Check back with me in about a month or two and see if people are doing TikTok dances and everything then. Because they're gonna start feeling it pretty soon. Civil rights and oversight. Well, this one ain't suffering because there ain't no civil rights fights going on right now, because we got a Justice Department that's not fighting civil rights cases right now. They're not trying to protect anybody right now except for Donald Trump. The whole Justice Department is put together to protect Donald Trump and his minions. That's it. They're not fighting anybody's battles right now. It says it shuts down federal oversight. There's no oversight going on. The little bit of oversight that the Democrats can get the Republicans to do is just a show. I've never seen a cabinet member treat a senator like Pam Bondi treated the senators in her hearings this week. I mean, it was downright disrespectful. She pretty much told them to go to hell. I ain't answering none of your questions, and you can't make me answer none of your questions. So my question to the Senate and Congress is, why have these hearings when you can't hold people accountable? And I remember there was a time when they said, well, I'm not going to talk about it right now. You go behind closed doors, and only leadership on those committees get to hear what's got to be said. But you got to hear it. They got to do oversight. Right now, there is no oversight going on in Washington, D.C., and this administration is running amok. It says trust and historical content. Well, there's no trust with Black people in America, really, because we've been sold a bill of goods for a long time. We mistrust everything that they say, pretty much. We are a part of this country. We are an intricate part of this country. We're not saying we don't want to be a part of this country. We just want it to be fair. And you refuse, you
I mean,
refuse as a
can I just
people to
jump in
make
for
it
one second?
fair. You can go ahead, cut in on that.
No, I'll just jump in really quick.
Mhm.
And it's about what you said. I don't give a damn what people think. I can say whatever I want to say about my country because I have been in this country. I come from a military family. My military family defended this country. I can say I don't like this country. What you want to dictate to me what I say about the United States? No, you're not going to dictate to me what I say. I defended this country. I grew up in this country. My father grew up in this country. My grandfather, my great grandfather, my great great grandfather grew up in this country. I can say whatever the hell I want to say about this country. No one's going to tell me what I can say. I think this administration is corrupt.
Yeah.
So
It is.
what? I got a right to say that. I think they're corrupt. I think this is I think Donald Trump is the worst president we ever had in our country. So what? I got a right to say that. And people need to stop shrinking it as if you can't say what you want to say about your country. I think the Vice President J.D. Vance is a punk. So what? I'm an American. I can say that. I have a right to say that. Just like they had, J.D. Vance has a right to go and sit on Charlie Kirk's podcast, a guy, Charlie Kirk, who said black people are stupid.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
no consequences to him going and sitting on that podcast and supporting him. So we should be able to say what we want. People stop bending the knee because the president said something. I don't
Hey,
have to
like
walk around here with a damn flag on my house. I know what country I'm from. I know what country I live in. Why do I need to have a flag on my front door? Why do I need to have
exactly.
a flag on my arm or on my back? I know what country I live in. I defend it.
You might as well, like Donald Trump said earlier, what do you got to lose? You might well say whatever the hell's on your mind. What you got to lose? You can't.
And
It
what is
ain't
he
gonna get.
doing?
It ain't gonna be too much worse than what it is
Right.
now.
What war did Donald Trump fight in?
And
What
he
what uh what defense? What uniform did he wear? Come on. Anyway,
clown,
go ahead.
clown, clown suit. That's what he wear. Clown suit. So all these things gonna affect the Black community even worse than it is. Like they say, it hit America hard, but it hit the people that have a lack of cushion, meaning the lower middle class, middle class, possibly, where you don't have that big of a cushion, where you can't go 2 or 3 months without pay and everything. And it's gonna hit the Black community even harder because there's always disparities in these communities. And when you already got disparities and then you take their money away from them that they work hard for every day, and they say, oh, we're just gonna play games for the next 2 or 3 months. We'll pay you back later. So who's gonna talk to the creditors while you playing games with my money? Who's gonna talk to the creditors while you're doing that? Nobody. Ain't nobody talking to the creditors for you. They're gonna try to take everything you got, and then they're gonna rich people gonna get it and everything. So that's basically what's happening with the shutdown. That's who's hurting the most. The disenfranchised, people without the big budgets, where they don't have 4 or 5 months to play around with, it's really gonna hurt. And it's sad to me that these politicians can go to work every day and say they working for the American people, but when we need you the most, you all can't lock yourselves in a room and figure out a solution to this problem. We all know that you don't agree. We all know that you got your opinion and you got your opinion, but you took an oath to the American public that you would serve us, not you, not Donald Trump, not Hillary Clinton, not Barack Obama. You said you were going to serve the American people. And when are you going to start serving the American people? When are you going to start earning your money? That's what I want to know. And you got the nerves to go to work every day, and you got staff that's not going to get paid in the next 2 weeks. Their own staff are not going to get paid in the next 2 weeks, but they still going to get paid. So we got lawless administration that don't care about laws, even the laws that they make themselves. Donald Trump signed a law that said that federal workers would get back pay once closed shutdowns are over. He signed that law himself, and now he want to go against the law that he signed himself. That tells you how lawless they are. They really don't care about the law. I think that's all I got on this, except for a personal note where you are in a fantasy football league with me where all our friends, for the most part, work in the federal government as a contractor or a federal employee. And most of them are in good shape, but it just pains me to see that they have to go through what they're going through because we got people in political positions that really don't give a damn about the American people. They don't. And Republicans can't, because they're scared of Donald Trump and they can't go against Donald Trump. And the Democrats are so inept at fighting right now that they can't fight them. So we got a party that's refusing to go against their president, whether he right, wrong, law, unlawful, or whatever. They're not going to go against him. And then we got a party that's inept, that don't know how to fight the good battle and get people to come to the table. Because if you were a real leader, you would figure out how to get these people to the table, even if you had to pick them off one at a time. Tomorrow you wake up, you got 4 senators that's going for you. Tomorrow, the next day you wake up, you got 6, and you fight the battle. the only way you can. So anyway, I'm done with it. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm good. I mean, you covered
Yeah,
everything. I mean, I think we,
yeah.
I mean, we touched on it. You know, I mean, like I said, man, Black folks need to just stop being crash dummies for everybody else and focus on ourselves, man. I mean, because you see what happens in this country when you get certain people in office. The first people that they want to try to hurt are people that share our reflection. I don't understand it. I mean, Black people have been the most loyal and supportive people in this country, but this is what they do. And then you got people who support them who, instead of looking in the mirror and recognizing that you are a bum because you are a bum, they want to find someone um, to blame. And that's minority, people who aren't in the position that they're in. No, you're a failure in life because you're a failure in life. You chose to do what you chose to do. But that's how this country operates. I mean, and Black folks have been in this country for a long time, so we get it. It's not new to us. We've seen it before. Our parents have seen it. Our grandparents have seen it. Our great grandparents have seen what this country does when they feel as though their power is being taken away from 'em. We know how they act. So I don't have anything else to add other than that. I think we covered everything.
Okay, you can once again, give them our particulars and everything, how to reach us and see our
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, um, we're on YouTube. We come on once a week, do 30-minute, 45-minute shows, talk about all the hot topics, man, things that are going on in our community. Get our content on YouTube. It's up in about 2 days. We typically come on Wednesday, and it's up by Thursday or Friday. Please give us comments. Let us know how we're doing. We'll try to get back to you and answer your comments. Hit that subscribe button, man. We're trying to get up to a certain amount of subscriptions. So, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And then we put some of our content up on our social media platform of Spoutable. As we said, for the last 6 months, we don't do X, but we do Spoutable, so you can get our content up there. So we're looking forward to hearing from everybody.
Yep. And last plug, shameless plug, we'll call it a shameless plug. Two black I've been looking around trying to find black organizations to support, black businesses to support. My brother-in-law birthday is today, and we're gonna get him some bourbon from a black-owned distillery. Man, it's about 10 of them. God, man, I can't remember the one she sent me. I'll get it next time. This company right here, Supplement, they make water bottles, and from what I'm told, they're just as good, if not better, than the high price ones, the ones that we paying $40 and $50 for. They cost somewhere between the prices of $25 and $35. And once again, I'm gonna talk about Actively Black again. Actively Black is just like what it is active wear clothing company for black people, made by black people. They bought cotton farms in the South, and they make most of their clothes from that cotton that they grow in the South themselves and everything. And they have high end sportswear like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and all those. Their prices are right in line with Nike and Adidas. Get a to get a hoodie, you're gonna pay 35, 45, $50 for it. And it's good quality. And I'm gonna wear one on here one day. And I'm also gonna purchase a water bottle as soon as I can. So that's what we gotta do. What you've been preaching all these times we've been up here, we gotta support black companies and support companies that support us, like Costco, instead of uh what's the name of the other one place? I don't even know the name no more.
No, go to
But yeah,
Costco instead of going to
yeah,
Walmart. Go to
yeah, yeah,
Costco instead
yeah,
of ordering
yeah.
from Amazon, because those two companies were standing right up there behind the president of the United States when he's doing
Mhm.
his inauguration.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't have to support them.
Well, those companies are doing a lot of gimmicks right now to try to get their sales up. Their sales are so bad that they're doing a lot of gimmicks. They having big sales 2 months before Christmas and all this other stuff. So it's crazy. Anyway,
No, as
thank
far as
y'all
I'm
a whole lot.
concerned, yeah, before you go,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, break them. Break every last one of them. We don't need Walmart. We don't need Target. And it could be another Amazon to come around. Break them all.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it, Suleiman. Good to see you, man. Y'all hang tight in the DC area and everything. And y'all, I just want y'all to let Suleiman he got a beast for a fantasy football team this
I'm
year. He
rolling,
got a
brother. I'm
beast.
rolling.
He just
I'm
beat
gonna win this year.
Yeah, he just beat me up this week. So
Uh,
I'm gonna give him credit where it's due. Thank y'all. See y'all later. Appreciate
all
you.
right, man.
See you
Good to
soon.
see you, brother.